And it is interesting on that point how, obviously we know climate change is the number one motivation currently of every NGO, of every single major government, a part of the UN, right? There's this push to have control and to control the climate, which is in itself slightly ridiculous, but also interesting. This idea to save the planet, but not the people on it, right? This ideological reinforcement that we're a poison or a cancer or a tumor, and that, our removal, the reduction of our lives, the inconvenience of who we are from something as small as a paper straw that doesn't actually work and breaks down, to the idea of the drink that you're drinking in that cup, right? That might actually be poisoning you. You're complaining about the straw, but it's the chemicals in the cup that's actually what's killing you, or the dyes in the paper. I mean, this is very severe stuff. They see us as the problem. So if it's demonic, if it's satanic, which I would agree with you on, that it's something deeper, the question is, how are they retaining that power and that control? Is it that the people under them, this is where I want to get to the next layer, are obeying or obedient because they're useful idiots, they're workers? Or is this actually like a dark spiritual force of genuine, like they've been granted authority through selling their soul or something in a deeper level that gives them that stranglehold where it seems like, you know what I'm saying? We can't really like take them out of their power. It feels like they're up there because they're uplifted by some
Yes.
sort of like spiritual force.
I spent years studying that. I eventually got John Cerrucci's book, The Eaters of Children, and he talks about how at the very top there's gatekeepers that make sure and you're not going to cross here and become this level of a leader unless you engage in this ritual or eat this kid or do whatever the demonic thing is that they have to do. So they have like a level of gatekeeping where they don't let anybody get into a certain position of power without going through their initiation rites. You see this, by the way. See, personally, I don't think Trump has gone through their initiation rites. And that's why they have to demonize him at every turn, because he's not one of them. Whatever you think about Trump, he's not one of them. And they absolutely are furious about it because they don't want to give access to power to anyone who's not taken their initiation rites. Now let's go to another level of research on this, which is they are very successful because they're following laws of nature, but they're parasitic laws of nature. One of the things that they're doing, for example, you're like, well, why would they poison themselves? Why would they poison their own skies? Why would they poison their own waters? Because the parasite destroys its own host. Until you got to get that. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you and I are creative beings, Elijah. We want to go out there, want to create things. We have that cosmic Christ within and wants to create and explore. And, the joy of that part of our life has nothing to do with parasites. And that's how most people are. But these people are totally enthralled with parasitism. They want to control. They want to make sure everything has to pass through their little fingers. They want to make sure they get every little bit of the cut of the money. And so they're using parasitic laws of nature, and therefore they're successful because they follow those laws pretty strongly. Eventually, though, and we see this happening as a crisis for our civilization, the parasite will eventually consume its own host, and that top-down control will fail because no one will want it anymore. Everyone will be like, nope, I don't care who you are. We're not listening to you. We're not doing any of your stuff you're saying. We're not eating your food. We're not drinking your water. We're not doing any of that. And that is the creative surge that's coming. That's what I represent. I was born in this world to represent that particular movement. We don't have nothing to do with big pharma's crimes. We don't have anything to do with their injected poisons. We have nothing to do with their atrazine, their glyphosate, and any of the other chemicals and crap they've sprayed on our earth and on us. We are organic. We go back to the source. We know that we have a brain that can figure out how to create tons of food organically without chemicals or sprays. I'm an organic farmer. I've got to use my brain a lot of times. When there's animals getting into my environment like raccoons or groundhogs, I have to be smart about it. I can't just spray them with some chemical or shoot them with some poison. That would disturb the environment. I have to think. And this is precisely what they want to remove, our ability to think.
Well, and I agree with you because, offshooting on this power structure, like you said, where they might not hit their benchmarks. And this is about control. It's not about thinking. It's about earning the position of power, right? Through either like you said, being subjugating yourself to outside control, either through escapism or by manipulation, becoming another power structure in the algorithm. But you mentioned here about not wanting us to think, right? Removing this humanity, that this is not just about money. This is not just about control, or that I want to be the head of the FDA because my mom didn't come to my football games and I want to prove to the world that I'm really the, best scientist in America and the world. This is something much more sinister and much more resistant to change. An example of that would be that many of the actions of these people and the results that have come from them have not just been that, we've gained a little bit of weight, or that, we've developed some minor problems. The root problem that has developed is, for instance, like this. I've never seen a study that abstract that has encapsulated more of the issues of our modern age in one document titled "The Role of Testosterone, the Androgen Receptor, and Hypothalamic Pituitary Gonadal Axis in Depression in Aging Men." For those who are not scientific or are not trained in medicine, essentially this is talking about the role in reduction of testosterone today and the proliferation of depression. And there's nothing that I could understand more that would be demonically trying to unwind and undermine society than attacking the structure by destroying men, which can no longer be good fathers or good husbands and protectors, and doing it through two ways. Not through direct death, but through the slow death, the reduction of their identity of testosterone, and then also that reducing and changing their behavior in the world through depression, losing purpose, right? They're losing their purpose biologically and losing their purpose psychologically. And so with these results being side effects of the decisions of these big corporations, what the FDA, what the CDC, what these people allow, are these just biological, side effects of poor legislation? Or do you feel like these are, or have evidence that these are like targeted results, targeted goals, because testosterone is reducing and has reduced? I want to bring this up before we even jump into this. It actually has reduced approximately in sperm count, even 32% in just 15 years, as you see the result dropping. So with sperm count, testosterone, and then, mental disturbances increasing, again, is this just we have bad policy, or was this intentional?
In my opinion, it's intentional. And the reason why I say that is because I know, for example, the research behind the tetanus infertility bioweapon. This little tetanus shot? Oh, you don't want to get tetanus? We're going to give you the shot. There is numerous evidence now that's been put together by Robert Kennedy Jr. and related researchers that work with him, that several batches of these that have been not only in the U.S. population, but in particular in Africa, were actually infertility weapons.
Wow.
And they're designed to make you infertile. I don't trust anything coming out of big pharma because of this very reason. If we see, this is the thing that we've all been totally brainwashed with, which is like, oh, the Nazis, the Mengele, he was like the most crazy mad scientist. Mengele and the Nazis are a joke compared to what the United States has done with medical experiments on people without their permission. A joke. It's not, it's a little story in history. The craziest stuff ever has been done. I was reading the other day, between 1940 and 1966, they released numerous different types of gases in the New York City subway system, including pathogenic substances, bacteria, in the subway system, just to see what would happen for 26 years. I mean, who's doing this? And what kind of study is that? They've been doing this on purpose, and it's targeted to do two things. One is they want to weaken men so men can't defend their society and civilization and the structures of their civilization, including their family. And two, they want to create infertility. And there's an infertility epidemic coming. It's already here. It's going to be monumental. And I do believe that a lot of that has to do with the karma of abortion. Just all these people aborting babies. Well, one day, 100 years from now, people will be lucky they can even have a successfully healthy child. It's going to get that crazy. You can see the sperm counts. Look what's happening here. It's everywhere, by the way, Elijah. You know this. If you look this up, every direction you're looking at, whether it's Western Europe, all over the world, every direction, lowered sperm counts, increased infertility. What's causing it? And a big part of it is the weaponization of the food supply, which we looked at and we saw those 8 companies. Of course, there's the brainwashing of the 6 companies in media that control all the media. But the other one is big pharma and their injections and what they're injecting into people. They're injecting latent viruses into people. We know that that's a fact. SV40 virus made it into tens of millions of people. It was in the polio vaccine. It's a cancer virus, causes cancer. And this cancer epidemic that we're going through, along with the fertility problems, is also big pharma's own agency that caused it. They created it. And once we come to our senses about this stuff, we realize that the only option is we have to turn towards using our natural God-given brain and figure out how to live from nature without their chemicals and infertility weapons. And there's beautiful things like right outside this window here, if you can see right behind me, actually on this side. So those are all pine trees right now that are dropping pine pollen. And pine pollen is a tremendous source of testosterone. We eat it every day. It's absolutely awesome. And that's Mother Nature's done that for us and given us, that's like God-given testosterone. So the cure is always there and very close. I do want to mention that because we can talk about the problem all day, but the cures are close, always.
This interview is going great. Now, you might be asking yourself, look, I've tried to lose weight and I feel like my metabolism just doesn't work like it used to. Is it broken? Well, the answer might be yeah. And you need to know about a 30-second morning habit that can actually put your metabolism into overdrive and help you reach your weight loss goals. Now, Sculpt Nation, one of the fastest growing brands in fitness industry, has launched a new best-selling improved version of their thermogenic formula. It's called Burn Evolved. Now, Burn Evolved 2.0 has just hit the market and is now made with several research-backed and patented ingredients. Thousands of their customers are already raving about it. What's unique about it is specifically it activates your TRPV1 receptors, which means that it'll help your fat cells release that stubborn fat and use that fat for energy. Burn Evolve 2.0 contains Capsimax, which is a concentrated dose of cayenne pepper. It helps boost your metabolism. It has Caloraburn GP, or grains of paradise seed extract that actually help blast the belly fat. It also has Chromax, which helps keep cravings under control, very important, and GS4 Plus, which can help reduce the amount of carbs absorbed by the body. Plus, it is innovated. It helps you give extra energy. It has an N Extra, which helps you improve your mood. It's a powerful mix of ingredients for anyone who wants to fire up their metabolism and keep their appetite under control while dieting and exercise. Just take 2 capsules in the morning with a tall glass of water for a boost that will get you through most of the day. No crash or jitters. Right now, you can get a discount when you go to vshred.com. Use my promo code Elijah. That's VSHRED.com. Promo code ELIJAH. Go to vshred.com. Promo code Elijah. Get your discount off right now and get their special offer backed by a lifetime money-back guarantee. As I always say, I will always make sure the products have a guarantee, lifetime guarantee or money-back guarantee right now, or your money back. So check it out right now at vshred.com. Promo code Elijah. VSHRED.com. Promo code ELIJAH.